Do I see entrepreneur flaws in the plan? And if so, how do I tell my partner?
It's very hard to see flaws in Kendall's plan for our family because whenever he does communicate it, he does look at every possible outcome for our family. But the only flaws that I could probably nitpick out is that he tries to shoulder all the responsibility for himself. He doesn't realize that he's surrounded by a team or that he has me to help him get us across the finish line and to help the vision come to fruition a little bit faster.
Yes, I mean, I think all business plans have flaws, number one. Number two, I'm still learning, so I can't really call them all out, but I do think that I do see a lot, and his business is growing very rapidly, and so he is gonna need some help.
Now, one thing about me, I take advice, okay? On the other hand, if I advise something, it's like, you don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, but I do. So, for instance, when it comes to video and maybe a client don't like something in a particular way, and I look at it and be like, well, you know what? I really think I really agree with this, because I do marketing when it comes to clients. I mean, I don't do videography, so I don't know about that part, but I can look at a video and be like, okay, I think this could be a little better, this.
So I don't think that this is specific to entrepreneurs. I think that any man is going to be, well, most men, I don't want to say any men, but most men at some point, they don't want their significant other necessarily telling them what to do. And so I think you have to balance and find good ways to provide feedback. I have to find the right moment to have the conversation, or just to ask some questions. Usually that's how I started off, is just by asking a few questions to really get an understanding.
Our communication is really good, so even when we're in the car and I'm like, this gets so, you ought to be drained. You know, I notice that you're tired, and so I kind of wiggle it in that way. Or I'll take it on and say, you know, today I'm gonna go get the shirts, because I do want him to have enough energy at some point, you know, to process and come home and print and do all that stuff. But at some point, we're gonna have to get rid of the machines, and we're gonna have to filter it out to an overseas manufacturer because of the capacity in which the business is growing.
As far as in that route of entrepreneurship plan, and I recommend different trainings or courses and things that he can do. He'd be like, why would I go do that if I already know how to do this? But we can always learn. So that's really, like, I would say in our entrepreneurship plan that he would need to work on, as far as being able to take criticism better. So that can affect the plan. And no, it doesn't matter what type of entrepreneurship role that you play in. If you can't take criticism or take critique, you cannot be a successful entrepreneur and have a successful entrepreneur plan for your business.
So I think that's the benefit, is that we play off of each other, and sometimes I'm his anchor where I can pull him back or encourage him. Because a lot of times in entrepreneurship, you get discouraged because you're defining your own lane. And so sometimes I have to be his cheerleader, and sometimes I have to just be his inspiration and say, you can do it, babe, you got this, it's all good. And then sometimes he's pulling me back down off the ledge, like, we got this, it's all good. So we balance each other out in that regard.
Keep my hands right here. Thank you. Look. Can y'all see my legs? So y'all can see this.
So one thing, this right here is in the shot right here. See that straw right there?
Oh, yes, I can.
Oh.
Bam.
It was distressed.